Assessment of personality, projective techniques. One of the Sigmund Freud's main defense mechanism is called projection. The idea of projection prompted many psychoanalytic and psychodynamic theorists to devise ways of accessing the buried information by allowing the patient to project it somewhere else. This resulted in the birth of the projective techniques of assessment. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe this channel if you are new here. Do watch other videos in this channel, share it with students and those who love learning psychology. Thank you. In the assessment of personality, we have seen like 3 ways are there to assess the personality. Self-report measures, projective techniques and behavioral analysis. In the previous video, we have learned about the various self-report measures. In this video, we will learn in detail the projective techniques. Varieties of projective test. Projective test is categorized into 5 groups based on the types of responses required from the subject. In association technique, person is asked to respond to some stimulus with first word, image or percept that comes to mind. Construction technique. It gives the subject the task of producing something, usually a story or a drawing. For example, 2 cartoons are given and a dialogue is to be written. Then completion technique. It requires the subject to finish an incomplete task in any manner, like a sentence completion procedure. Then choice or ordering techniques. It merely involves a selection among alternatives or to rank the possibilities in order of preference or attractiveness. Then expressive techniques. Revealing personal manner and style in the process of performing some activities, such as play situations with children or the draw a person test. Now let's see popular examples of projective test. The Rorschach-Inkblot test, thematic apperception test, draw a person test, sentence completion test, Rosenweig's picture frustration study. The Rorschach-Inkblot test. During a Rorschach test session, the participant is presented with a series of 10 inkblot images, one at a time. The participant is then asked to describe what they see in each image. The responses can include perceptions of the object, animals, people, or abstract forms. The examiner may ask follow-up questions to explore the participant's reasoning or ask for additional details. The scoring and interpretation of the Rorschach-Inkblot test involved analyzing various aspects of the participants' responses, including the content, that is what they see, the location, which part of the inkblot they focus on, and the determinants, what characteristics or factors influence their responses, then popular responses, that is commonly reported perceptions. The responses are categorized and scored based on established scoring system, such as the comprehensive system developed by John Exner. Interpretations focus on the individual's perceptual process, cognitive style, and underlying personality dynamics. Thematic apperception test, or TAT. During a TAT session, the participant is shown a series of ambiguous or semi-structured pictures and is asked to create a story about each picture. The participant is instructed to describe what led up to the situation depicted in the picture, what is happening in the picture at the moment, and what the outcome might be. The examiner may also ask additional questions to gather more information or clarify aspects of the participant's story. The picture used in the TAT typically depict various social and interpersonal situations, such as scenes with people in different contexts or engaging in different activities. The participants' responses, including the content of the story, the characters' motivations, emotions, and interpersonal relationships, are considered important source of information for interpretation. The interpretation of TAT involves examining the narrative themes, content, and emotional tone expressed by the individual. Draw a person test, DAP. During the DAP test, the participant is given a blank sheet of paper and asked to draw a person or people. They are usually instructed to include as much as detail possible and to draw a whole person, including facial features, body parts, and clothing. The participant may be asked to draw themselves, someone they know, or simply a person. Sometimes additional instructions are given, such as drawing the person in a specific situation or activity. Once the drawing is completed, the examiner analyzes various aspects of the drawing, such as the presence or absence of body parts, size and proportions, facial expressions, details, and overall quality. The interpretation of the DAP test focuses on understanding the individual's developmental level, self-image, emotional states, cognitive abilities, and personality traits. Sentence completion test. During this test, the participant is typically presented with a series of sentence stems, each followed by an incomplete sentence. The stems are designed to be open-ended and can cover a range of topics related to the individual's life, relationship, aspirations, or experiences. The participant is asked to complete the sentence in whatever way feels most natural to them. The scoring and interpretation of the sentence completion test focus on the specific content of the completed sentence, as well as any recurring themes or patterns that emerge across responses. The responses are analyzed to uncover the participants' underlying beliefs, values, conflicts, emotional states, and self-perceptions. Rosenzweig's picture frustration study. It is a projective technique designed to assess individuals' response to frustration and their coping mechanisms. The PF study. It involves presenting a series of 20 pictures to the participant, each depicting a frustrating or stressful situation. The participant is then asked to write a story about each picture, describing what is happening in the scene and how the characters might feel or react. The stories are meant to provide insight into individuals' emotional and cognitive responses to frustration, their problem-solving abilities, and coping strategies. The scoring and interpretation of the PF study, it focuses on several aspects: the content of the stories, the individual's emotional reaction, the effectiveness of coping strategies employed, and the overall quality of the narratives. The narratives are typically analyzed for themes related to aggression, passivity, problem-solving skills, and interpersonal dynamics. Now let's have a quick recap on what we have learned. In the assessment of personality, in this video we have learned the projective techniques, the varieties of projective test, and few examples of the projective test like the Rorschach-Inkblot test, thematic apperception test, draw a person test, sentence completion test, and Rosenzweig's picture frustration study. In the upcoming video, we will learn the third way of assessing personality, the behavioral analysis. Hope you liked this video. Please share and subscribe. Thank you and keep smiling.